Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Barcast TV and to another episode of At the Bar. Today we are once again joined by our illustrious guest, co-host LSR.
Hey guys, hey broadcast. Happy to be here. Looking forward to some 1v1 games. Been back at the game, so very curious to how some of the things have transpired and what's new.
Yeah, so I'm gonna unpause our game and let's get into this. LSR, are you planning on participating in any of the qualifiers next week, or are you gearing up for that?
Oh, maybe I won't. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Let's see. I think the qualifiers and the players that got there makes me curious. Hey, maybe I could play, but I'd be also happy just participating in general. Maybe also casting if situation calls for it. So
Well, all the
let's
above.
see.
Sounds like, yeah. Well, I'd like to see you play. Hope we have something to talk about too. So, and that being said, we can introduce our players. Spawning on the left side of the map, playing as the blue pieces. On cold place, it's low. And his opponent spawning on the right side, playing as the red pieces. We have the infamous Big Dolphy.
Yeah, it's nice to see Dolphy in 1v1. I played him a couple of times. Like he's like really good and like we were evenly matched. But he is just washed up in 1v1 in general. But relies on his experience of probably like tens of thousands of games. So, uh, yeah. So
Dolphy's a great practice partner. He's got a pretty wide range at that too. So
oh yeah, he loves to me. Like I think I play like a little bit better everywhere else, but he baited me so hard into LLDs and I just died. So like it doesn't even matter that you're like
yeah,
ahead by this army at this point. Like the man just has like the riz and the wits to bait you out in the fortunate positions and like take advantage in different ways. But yeah, it looks like we have like a pretty tame opener with both players going bots. Uh, Obviously, like bots are nice, but if you start on this dual position, since you kind of can get your like base like skimmed off if you let the units go up on the hills. More issue on this low side is there's like literally no free space to the back of it, and yeah, it looks like the player is gonna start expanding, both preferring like double expansions with the bots and making even more construction bots for slow.
I really like this style. And it's just interesting to see how we have an ARM versus core bot open. You don't see this too often, and I mean, I'd say the advantage is really towards the Cortex player. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but
Yeah, it depends on the skill, right? If you're playing like at a 20 TS level, I would say no. Pawns are like really good, like they kill grunts like with no big issue. But once you get up to the higher TS, the Randy doesn't really let you kill his grunts that easily. He like
yeah,
makes
for
sure to
sure.
actually move them, which makes the whole thing a lot more tricky and
Like even getting damage with ticks, it's like they have radar up and they just put their units in position, right? It's like it's so hard to find damage with anything.
yeah, but you could argue that on big maps, like, why would you need, like, the grunts are really slow. If you play actually armed, sure, you would be worried about the, grunts ruining your pawns. But yeah, this is already, like, damage. I'm watching,
Yeah, this grunt getting the
completely
construction bot.
cripples Law, and, has to make a citizen's arrest right here, and, gonna even get that, and
He's trying to get the
manages to
reclaim
even
off.
run away.
So close. Yeah, it's like 10% health. I think he's gonna get this
Ooh.
construction bot.
Well, no way. Like it's too low. But if the slow would forget to reset the reclaim, yeah, then he would definitely got him.
It's nice to see there's already a resbot out going to do its job. I think he already had this he already had this made before he reclaimed his bot factory, so he's, I mean, some saving grace.
Yeah. Well, as long as like remade himself into the vehicles somehow like, fast, I think that like maybe actually hurt his build power for a little bit. But yeah, maybe the vehicles are the correct choice to try to chase and get the damage up. But otherwise, it's not looking that hot for Zlo with the.
Yeah, I don't know about the vehicle transfers. Like, even blitzes, like, you still run into the same problem at high true skills. These higher level players aren't going to give you the opportunity to trade with these grunts efficiently. So they're just going to kite you all day and be in position. As I say that, we saw a couple go down in this, like, little bottom mid section, but have to see. He's up to 9 blitzes already, and is Dolphy transitioning? No, he's just still.
Well, Dolphy's being pretty safe, to be fair. Like, those LLTs will stop blitz most of the part, or it will cause like partial damage. And you know, once you like have the grunts, and if you have grunts in the position, you could use the red bots, and you know, maybe get some of those blitzes back. Like, don't get me wrong, like blitzes are good, but you know, LLTs is a better unit. Like, it's hard to really push through. Multiple layers of defenses.
Yeah, you start getting 2, 3, 4 LLTs deep, and you pretty much can't get damage done with the blitzes. They've been out.
The commander's a little bit protected in the metal, so where will Zlo actually go in this case, right? So is he just looking to secure the middle spots? I mean, he's like not that far off economically. Like he got raided early, right?
Right,
so
right.
manages to kind of kill the grunts though without taking that much damage. I think he even only lost like 1 tank. Loses the second tank when pushing the commander.
Yeah, I would like to see a construction vehicle making its way up here already. He took control of this position and doesn't really have a way to capitalize.
He has those 2 original bots, but you know they spent a good time, you know, rebuilding all their mixes. And the way we see it, there's also some south attacking coming from Dolphy. So Dolphy's applying pressure, will get like a mix, and likely that construction bot also should be dead if he notices. And also being really annoying with vision in the backline,
Yeah.
making sure that the Zlo doesn't feel at home.
Does he see those radar signatures actually? He has to know those are there. Yeah, it's just a pain to have to deal with these grunts on the high ground and not have a unit that can reach them.
Yeah, and that's why I don't like vehicle stuff. I think vehicles are really strong on the map, but you know the way that they are in fact makes you sure like you like need to place multiple LLTs there on the backline, which you know you could do.
I was watching
You need like at least 2.
I was watching Ragnar play actually, and they spawned in like the typical locations, and he just built a line of LTs like around the back of his base. It was kind of funny to see. He just wasn't having it.
Yeah, and Dolphy growing slowly.
He's
All
got
sides, doesn't rush anything. Happy to
control of the
secure.
middle here in the top mid, and he's moved into making exploiters, expanding down the bottom side of the map. So he's going to be hard to raid in those mixes.
Yeah, I think he's happy with the gates. You know, you're running grunts, you could use like a second tank. Should be figuring out to go like vehicle lab soon, or like air lab for the attack. But for air lab, I think you need a little bit more than grunts, so I would prefer them to go vehicles.
That's interesting. And looks like, yeah, he just has a couple construction turrets already finished right behind the front line here. He's going to be choosing to go for the vehicle lab. Personally, I like doing the air factory.
Yeah, I would say for the cold place, it's really important, like, to bomb the enemies to win. But I think with all the scouting, he didn't actually see that Flo has, like, a massive wind farm. So maybe he's looking first to, like, protect the gaps and, by the looks of it, and,
Well, it looks like somehow Zlo found a way to get 10 blitzes to the south right side of the map here, and he's going to be running into 2 exploiters.
2 exploiters is pretty hard with the grunt support, especially if the exploiter takes the damage and can't get. Like, it's not an easy engage, and
He's going to try and sneak around here. I don't think he's going to be able to get any damage done. Like, having these extra grunts with the exploiters just adds so much tank power and DPS. Looks like Zlo's going to try and sneak around, but the terrain just isn't going to let him cooperate. He's going to have to run into the range of the exploiter.
was like really hard to understand whether he like misclicked or like did he know that like he can't move there. Yeah, now decides that's like pretty tough fight and won't go for it. Oh damn, do you really go back, huh?
I suppose
Also-
he can like naked expand. Like, he doesn't have to invest in the exploiters, so this one construction vehicle behind can take all these mexes.
Yeah, take those little chances. Yeah, that might work out for him, I guess. But yeah, Dolphy's securing metal, and you know, Dolphy has all these resources in defense, so Yeah, Zlo will have to come up with something, like, even if he catches back economically, if he needs to survive at least one attack from Dolphy, like, where Dolphy loses the majority of his troops and has to rely on defenses. But, yeah, and it looks like Zlo is fortifying North Passage as well.
This is maybe another reason I like going for the air factories. Like, if you stall out on this front in the top side, you can move your commander and kind of like accept the fact you have to fortify a line there behind those mexes and just focus all of your attention expanding along the bottom side of the lake. If you know you can't take this middle part, just focus on expanding away from it.
Oh yeah, for sure. We see the blitzers going in, but yeah, that's not good sign. The res bots from Dolphy should already be racing towards the bottom to hoping to res those tanks after he annihilates them. That's like the like what I would call the classic core grunt play. You just try to delay, set up like these ambushes, trade efficiently. Doesn't matter what you lose, and then like resurrect all the troops with increased ground pressure. And look at that stream just going there to support, and
yeah, so many grunts.
To recover most of those tanks and add to the force.
It's like he's just gonna reclaim all these units for now. It would have been nice to see like a little combined attack there, but I don't really think Dolphy needs it. I mean, there's no units between his grunts and the bottom left side of the map. Interesting enough that Zlo has a couple of these pincer amphibious tanks moving across the lake.
And Dolphy is going T2 actually, from his vehicle lab. It's a really curious choice, but
oh, he used this on me the other day. He's going Tsar first out of a T2 lab.
Tsar first? I mean, that's pretty good assault unit, what do I say? Zlo's trying to be a little bit of sneaky and try at least some damage, but gonna run as like pincers into the exploiter right now.
Yeah, kind of
never saw the matchup, to be fair. I don't know if exploiter can deal with them or not.
Well, you saw it here first, so I'll take a look. How many shots does it take to kill? 2, 4, quite a few actually.
Yeah, it doesn't look too hot. We'll be able to get it, but at what cost?
So
or just gonna drive out the range and the exploiter lives. Yeah, the HP sometimes on exploiter can be pretty good, even if it wouldn't be firing. Right, the HP is sometimes worse because regular mix is so squishy, right?
Oh yeah, most certainly are. And even getting the repair off, like if you have a construction vehicle nearby, it's like such a different interaction than running into just LLTs and mexes. It's like
I'll be on like a counter attack on the north as well. We'll put some pressure. Already we see some mines in the random places. Are they on hold fire mines? That's interesting. Because they're heavy mines on hold fire.
Yeah.
Allows just the scouts to drive all over them.
Yeah, but I suppose he's saving them from those high value. This is the first time I've actually seen this, so really.
He baits Slump by saying he should resign.
Yeah, the chat meta, I think as he calls it. It just tilting your
opponent.
Big
Can't say for sure. Gonna push with his Tsar like really slowly.
And he saw the air units of Zlo, so he got his own air factory out. Yeah, look at the range on this unit.
Yeah, Zlo's getting bombers, but a little bit too late. Once your opponent has like the T2, of course you could bomb them, and and then it's like impossible to build core T2 vehicles since they're like really energy hungry. But yeah. Well, the first bombs hit pretty okay. Just need to identify clusters a little bit better. Those chain as well. Not that many spread. It looks like they still explode with one spacing.
Kind of decent run. He's knocking him down to below 1k energy per tick, but I mean he already has 2 of these Zars out, so it's like, did you really get enough damage at the right time?
Yeah, with the 2 stars, I really love what Dolphy is doing right here. I think when I see Teddy making like T2 on vehicles, I think like, why would you make like T2 economy buildings all in 1v1, right? If you're ahead of your opponent, your objective is to put the money in the units, right? Not to invest in some long-term thing, pay off like 5 minutes later. You could just like, if you think you're ahead in metal income, you'll just get like more efficient T2 units and you should win.
Yeah, yeah.
So I really love the just spending the metal.
Especially like you can force fights and then use the res bots to get the value that way, right? It's like just like swing the pendulum in your favor harder and harder with units. You don't really need tech, I suppose, in 1v1s.
Yeah. But once you get the tech, I think it just makes sense to make T2 units instead of going the economy path and then prolong the game.
Oh yeah, is that why you think Dolphy hasn't made this advanced construction vehicle yet? He just wants to end the game, or I don't.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, that for me makes sense, just to make T2 units from the T2 lab. Like, why would you go economy when you still just can be on T1? It's like if your opponent doesn't have T2 already, you don't have to catch up of anyone. And if your opponent goes T2, like, if he makes eco, he's dead because you will have accrued like much more powerful units. Like, I think you could say that the T2 units are more metal efficient.
It's really interesting. Zlo is super patient here and just finally decided to take a fight. Dolphy's trying to kite these Zars back, and kind
That's a lot of medium tanks, the stouts. Almost 8,000 metal in those tanks were there. But let's see how the Tsars clean up. I think, oh, there's a heavy mines.
I didn't see that. Probably took out a lot of fights, and these Zars just have so much HP. They're slow firing, but... So we have another Tiger heavy assault tank here that's doing so much work. It's got 3 kills.
Yeah, I think you can push back the T2. The issue is that like the Zlo didn't really control the reclaim. He isn't like actually only now sending like constructors out. Like if he gotten that reclaim like as soon as he started, then maybe he could like start the snowball. But you know the Dolphy's south attack with the
so many grunts running.
Yeah, that's I love this. This is me. I see me in those grunts.
Yeah, and it's like 16 minutes into the game, and it's like, well, like, who cares about T2 units?
Units, right?
Yeah, it's like,
he is still like, he has the reserves from with the blitzer, in the form of the blitzers from all the reclaim he resurrected, so... Yeah.
So he's gonna surround the commander, and Zlo is so close to going down 7% HP, finally cleans all of that up. But the damage has been done. Yeah, it's like Dolphin cleared out all of these like bottom left mexes here, tore through the economy, and there's these Tiger tanks coming out in the mid. So medium tanks can't contest this reclaim field anymore, and there's resbots showing up in the middle, top mid, for Dolphy.
Yeah, he wants a little bit of metal, even though he has resurrect somewhere, like pretty good micro, from what I saw.
Yeah, so he's gonna tap out, call it GG.
Yeah,
really nice
making the medium. Yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, as you guys can see, I think it's really important to not lose that many mixes earlier. Like I feel like Zlo was on the back foot after, you know, just losing that one initial raid. So
yeah, really tough.
I don't know what threw off. I think Zlo usually is on top of his defense, so I don't know. I rarely attack, but interesting that Dolphy did get away with these like sneak attacks, was able to pin him to the back so multiple times and, you know, actually use the grunts.
It was a great game. Zlo definitely made his best effort to kind of come back despite the early losses, so really good job holding on. And I think I learned something new about just not even going for the T2 constructor, just getting out those R's earlier.
I don't think economy is good. I don't know. I mean, I guess like I think it depends on your style, right? Like if you're ahead, get more ahead. It's one school of thought, but like I think just like why would you like if you're like certain that you're ahead in economy as well, why would you risk and get like more economy? Like it's, you have to invest in like the bot, and the bot has to invest in mexes, and that's like 1,000 metal already, right? Or less, right? Even if you think like the bot is like 400 and it's like 600 for T2 mex. Yeah, okay. I wouldn't even talk about the costs of the vehicle T2 bot, right? It's like big, like you could have two cans for like the bot lab. I don't know what's the equivalent, or just like maybe one tiger, right? And you know that tiger could be doing work, and unless you just like plan on feeding either way, I think just pumping units is fine. I would even reclaim in most of the team games. I would even reclaim the T1 units, something
Right, right.
obsolete like Rockos, Thugs, not Grunts. Grunts are OP, of course. You know,
Shout out.
maybe some soldiers or whatever, right? And just put into more good T2 stuff.
I will say perhaps a counterpoint to skipping the eco, going off of Tech 2, is you do leave yourself a little vulnerable to the airplay. So if they time it just right, like Zlo almost had it where he came in with the bombers like right as the T2 was coming online, so maybe in that one niche scenario, it's actually probably better to just get at least one construction vehicle out.
Yeah, there's multiple school of thoughts, of
Right.
course, and the team games actually explain it like a little bit more. I think one of the most viable strategies is that when the game is like actually too tight, you might even consider going T2, make one bot, and then reclaim the T2 while you're making the T2 bot. So like you still plan to fight for 20 minutes, but like you have, I don't know if you can like accrue that much metal, but just you know to make the switch, and that's more applicable for team games where you just like have for the whole team you will have more. Right? You know, you could still go back to T1 and spamming T1 units because you need the mass. You just like will have this, I don't know, the 25-second gap where you don't have a reinforcement line. So,
no, that's a great point, and you actually brought this up to me when I was practicing for that naval game versus
oh, for sure, the
balancers.
T2,
Yeah.
I think it's most prominent with the T2C because I don't think T2C has that great units. So for example, like Hounds are really good units, right? If you get there's multiple of units like the T2, like these Tigers and the Tsars, they are really cost efficient, especially on like the map set where this looks like a nice fat choke up on the north, and there's not that much to do.
Well, LSR, I wish we had some more time to talk. I think that was a decent episode for everyone. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please be sure to like and subscribe. We have the ongoing Bar Pro League for those of you interested. That is going to be concluding in the main event on the 30th. So be sure to check us out. I'll link the Discord and whatnot, pertinent information in the description below. LSR.
All right, yeah. Thanks, guys. Till the next time.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming on again. I always like doing replays with you, and have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching.